Hi guys, welcome to the third part of Archdais talk show. Today we have the winners of Sculpting the Pioneers of Architects competition. We have with us Mr. Harsh, Sanjana and Ankit. So we'll have a brief conversation on how they developed the concept and how they went about the design and everything. Hello guys.
Hi.
How did you guys know about the brief? How did you guys came to know about Archdais in general? So can you tell me about the initial process of the competition?
So basically, I have worked on Archdais before, like one of the competition before, the Amity Pavilion.
Okay.
And then since I'm in touch with the Instagram page of Archdais, and moreover, I have other college mates who are very active in these competitions. So they let me know about this sculpting the pioneers of architecture. So after reading the brief, I thought this is something very unique where we need to pay a tribute to the architect himself. So that's the uniqueness which pulled myself personally in this competition.
Okay. So can you tell me why is that you selected a particular architect and why did you select him?
Okay. So like the first month of competition, we were just trying to understand the brief. What does the brief demand? What are the requirements? And then we studied each and every architect. We studied their design philosophy, their work, their architectural style, and then we narrowed it down to Tadawando. So the thing we liked about Tadawando was his design philosophy. So he had a lot of layers to his design philosophy, where he has emotional architecture. Then he has this concept called as the haiku effect, where he uses natural elements into his design. Then he uses he has a lot of drama in his architecture. So these were few elements that really interested us, and that's why we finally chose Tadawando to do our design.
So how the initial process? Can you tell me?
So initially he approached me and he came up and he said that Ankit, there is this competition called Archdais. The unique thing in this is that we have to choose an architect. And before this, it had never been this case. Ki choosing an architect and performing on.
It was a unique concept.
It was a unique concept. So he told me that let's compete in this, it's something unique. And then we just asked Sanjana ki there's this competition, so would she like to come perform? Even she liked the idea and we all came together and we did this and took part. And it was quite interesting.
So now I'll ask you something about the design journey. How did you manage to put them in your concept?
The brief was quite tricky for us when we read it for first time. Like it was talking about symbolizing the architect himself. But then again, the brief was demanding to practice his ideologies too at the same time. But we had a lot of discussions. We even had debates on this, that whether to symbolize him or to practice his ideologies. And then eventually we came up with a common decision of why not we do both of them. Okay, so we have connected this particular idea of ours with connecting his architecture with natural elements at one time, the other to incorporate his own life process, the ups and downs in his life. And then again, everyone appreciates the work of an architect. Even they talk about his ideology. There was something lacking where we really needed to put up a very tangible form of tribute to him. So we somewhat had this culmination of all of these ideas, and it was a very long process. So it was kind of very complex, but in a very organized chaos manner.
How he mentioned that there used to be debates. The brief was vast, but you had to, compress it somehow into one presentation.
We used to have different opinions every time.
Okay.
So we never wanted to dominate our opinions over the others. So what we had in mind, ki we have different opinions, we have wide perspective. Keeping in mind that we are studying Tadawando. So we know some points might be missed by me, but she must have caught those. He must have has his own ideas. So
basically,
that's
you had a positive approach.
Yeah, positive approach.
I want to convey something.
Convey something. We used to convince each other,
correct.
and then we used to come on a common agreement where we used to proceed further.
These conflicts and these debates weren't problem for us.
Yeah.
These were solutions actually.
Correct.
Because when we had debates, when we had different opinions, there was every time this synergy where if the two parties have some common opinion, the third one is not on the same
On
path.
path.
So the convincing power of maybe both of them may convince the other.
May convince the third one.
And we got the best option out of like out
The
of all
debate
the
or-
all the world.
Actually, that was a great part where we had our own opinions and we could work on them.
Okay. So how do you used to bring it on paper?
So like I said earlier, we had like a pre-design stage where we like understood what all we need to do. Then this pre-design stage led us to a concept stage. Now concept for us was not one particular idea, it was a process. So the whole process was like we had one idea where we wanted to pay a tribute to his face. So we had certain blocks. Then we also needed to inculcate the elements of nature. So we put that as well. Then we also need to have his life to be portrayed in these blocks. We put that as well. So this was like
Basically, it got shape up.
it just kept building. We just kept adding layers into it, and it kept
it
building. And then the concept was like the output of this entire process.
What were your reactions when the results were coming out? So I want to know from each one of you the exact scenario, what you were doing, and what happened when the results got announced. So please, each of you tell me, how was it?
So initially when we were at Sanjana's place and we were just finishing up the Photoshop thing and then we just wanted to upload. After the final glimpse that we have done the panel, I had a opinion that, bro, this is what the brief demanded and we have achieved it. And I was...
So you are confident?
Yeah, I was confident about...
Prior result?
Yeah, prior result, I was confident that we are going to be there on the top 3 list.
So I'll tell you my reaction.
sure.
So then when first I was the first one to see the results,
Okay.
and I was trying to call both of them and they were not picking up the
I
phone.
was sleeping actually.
They both. So then I called them and like, listen, come online and look at this message. And then, so my first reaction was I was very relieved because the way we've pulled this entire process competition, because we were interning, we had our internship period. So we would go for our internships, then we would meet at 9 o'clock in the night, work till 1 o'clock every day. Go to Starbucks, work in malls, and then so when you put so much effort and when you finally get the fruits of it, it's a complete different feeling.
It becomes a part of you.
Yes, and that was the first time I was experiencing that feeling, and it was really nice.
So you were relieved?
Very
basically.
relieved. Like, yeah, hard work does pay. I mean, that was like an example. Hard work does pay.
So actually I was sleeping and she asked me to come online and see the message. So when I saw, so I was scrolling actually. So the website had this 3 verticals of honorable mentions, top 50 and the winners. So I don't know, I was in sleep, I was very sleepy, I was a sleepy head. So I just read the honorable mention part and I was scrolling. So the first panel was ours.
Your panel, huh?
So my first reaction was, okay, this was not expected. So then when I scrolled again and then I came to know that there are only 3 panels in honorable mentions, and they asked us that, they told us that there would be 10 panels. So then I again scrolled it back and I saw that these are the winners actually, and it's written clearly that you guys are the first winners. So I really, I was in a state of very neutrality actually. I was very, very blank how to react to this, because these guys were on phone and they were shouting a lot.
Yeah.
And I was like, how to
Probably
react
you
to
were
this?
overwhelmed.
Yeah, I was way too overwhelmed to react to this. So yeah, that was my reaction.
I was on my way to Goa. So that was extremely...
Nice. Yeah. So
Yeah,
one more
it's-
addition
yeah,
to your trip to party.
It got me 2 more days in addition.
So what is that keeps you going? What message would you like to give to the students who might be thinking too much submissions, you shouldn't take part, but somewhere they want to take part. So what message you would like to give to them? What has changed this competition? What has changed it for you? So that perspective I want to know.
So in this growing world of academic purpose and in this world of marks and pointers, competition is such a platform where you can come up, you can really brush your skills very integratedly. It could be your software skills, it could be your communication skills, it could be your convincing power. And then again, you get to know different people in a competition. So the very question you asked, that how did this team form up? The team forms up when it really gets into some conflict, it gets into a process. And along with that, there's no procedure here, that we have the liberty of doing it all ourselves in our own ways.
You had
So-
no one to answer to.
Yeah. basically
rather than yourself.
in our context, it is the faculties. Like in college, you have to be accountable to your faculty for certain tasks.
You might have to do some things which you don't believe in also.
And
sometimes.
moreover, personally, by doing competitions as such, my leadership qualities really come up. Like these get very, they get chiseled. All my negative points, they get chiseled, and the best
Positivity
of
comes,
myself
positive
comes up.
points.
So one major difference that I find in doing a project in college and doing a competition is the exchange of ideas. So when we are doing a competition, you interact with people, you get to know their point of view, you put forth your opinions. So there's a lot of exchange of ideas that's happening and building up an idea. And that's very important in architecture, because in a firm you're going to work with a team. So you should know how to be compatible and work with a team. And that's one thing we learn in a competition that's very essential for students to start learning. And another thing is, when you're working in a competition with a team, there must be something that you are good at and the other two are good at something else. So you learn that, and so all of this helps you build up as a person. So
While I was been asked by Harsh that would you be joining in our team, so I was like, yes, I really want to take part, and doing this competition, I have improved in some of the software skills. I have able to achieve what I wanted to achieve, and that would help me in my academics too. So, in the overall perspective, it has been a great journey for me. I had a beautiful experience and learned a lot of things from them.
I also want to know what was your college people reactions like. I don't think apart from you anyone would have taken part in the competition.
There's this,
Or were there people
when we were in our first and second years, there was no trend of as such participating in competitions. But with our batch and our senior batch, eventually people got involved in competitions. So there was this trend of taking part into competitions just for the sake of, brainstorming yourself, ki what best could come up. And then now in present context, in our college, there may be at least 10 to 15 teams participating in this. The present
post your
Yes.
work.
Yes, because when you see results, you really
They get motivated.
you realize that yes,
They
this
need
can,
that
this can be
example.
achieved. So probably we were the examples, fortunately, and it's really very ecstatic when one of my juniors come to me and they tell me that I do inspire them, because inspiring is something very big for me. And when you ask me if people are getting involved in this because of you,
Post your
this is something which gives me a very next level of pride.
So we have a small surprise for you. We have got a book by Mr. Ando, your inspiration, and I hope you inspire people more.
Thank you so much.
thank you so much, Archdais, for organizing this talk show and for recognizing our work. Thank you.